care. You can record.
We're going. I'm actually
we're live?
so yeah.
Sweet. So, let me go ahead and get the prologue going. So, here's the map. The Frozen North, a name given to the stark and unforgiving frontier that lies beyond the high moor of Faerun. A bleak wilderness where barbarian clans and tribes of giants roam the land, and fierce dragons rule the skies. But amidst the frozen savagery stands a bastion of civilization, the city of Neverwinter, jewel of the north. Behind the city's high walls, those both hardy and brave carve out an existence from this bleak land, under the guidance and protection of Lord Ban Allegandar. Yet there are some things that all the courage in the world cannot stand against. In a time shortly after 1450 DR, Mount Hotenau rumbles in the Crags mountain range, a sound best described as a door to the nine hells being opened. Soon, all of Neverwinter would feel the touch of the black snow that followed. Clouds of ash that blotted out the sun could not be lifted. Panic ensued. The streets erupted into violence over mounting scarcity of food. The jewel of the north was brought to its knees. To save Neverwinter, Sir Kargum the Reprimand, Paladin of Hor and Lord Ban's right hand, put forth a call for champions. A rush of would-be heroes answered his call. Some drawn by promises of grandeur and glory, others by the lure of gold. Those with the greatest potential were initiated into the academy to train and study under the greatest minds of all Neverwinter, all in the hopes a champion might emerge to save the city from the looming eruption of Mount Hotenau, and whatever sinister force might be behind it. The party finds themselves filing into Never Academy amidst the throng of adventurers and sellswords alike. One by one, the line glumly pressed forth until you are finally greeted by the old, wizened clerk responsible for filing and organizing the applicants into rounded parties. So, Anarmagil, as the first in line, he's regarded with a very sardonic tone one would expect out of a wizard. Anarmagil, go ahead and give me a brief description of your appearance.
My name is Anarmagil Ayibo. I am 6'5", 240 pounds, muscular. I am a caramel complexion of African descent, half elf, half human. I am a paladin in training of Lathander. I carry a large greatsword, and I also carry a shield with the symbols of Lathander emblazoned upon it. On my greatsword, at the hilt, is a replica of the sun itself, and on my side I carry a warhammer. I'm a grim man. I would be handsome if I smiled, but it's something I rarely do.
Alright. So just as a frame of reference, the Academy, if I can get this to not be so transparent, there we go. The Academy is this building. Right in there. You don't have to drag your token or anything, but just for a frame of reference on the map. That's where you are. Okay. So the clerk finally speaks. Oh. And your name was?
Anarmagil Oyibo. OyIbo.
Wow. Let me find your file. Messy. Oh, there it is. Oh, I don't believe we have you on this list.
Then your list is lacking.
My list is what?
Then your list is lacking. Check it again. You will find my name, I'm certain.
Why don't you go ahead and give me a persuasion roll?
Okay.
Just to see how you pull this off.
I also would have gone with intimidation, but I'm good with
Yeah,
both.
I was kind of leaning on that. Dealer's choice. A 23, okay. So he's not too offended. But your tone was definitely, towing that line. So he goes, "How dare you? Do you not know to whom you speak? I'm the high divinationist of the many-starred cloaks of Neverwinter, former consort of Yaffo, Zolka of Therian divination in the east. I have mentored the finest magi of Halrua and battled amongst the war wizards of Cormit, and you have the audacity to claim I cannot find a name written upon a list I personally drafted. Oh, wait, there it is.
Thank you very
Very
much,
well,
sir.
then. Describe your specialization to me in as few words as possible."
Bring light, discard darkness.
"And what are your current armaments?"
I have this broadsword. I have this warhammer. And this shield. And of course, I have my faithful Lathander, the Morning Lord.
"And I would assume that is your patron deity?"
Lathander is life. It is my duty to spread his life to others. Yes, sir, it is.
"Thank you. Room 13A. The guards will show you there." So after
Very
waving
well.
an Armigel off dismissively, he would signal to the next in line. An Armigel, you are led out of the scene to a room illuminated by candlelight along the stone walls. As far as you can tell, you're alone for now.
All right, I'm just going to kneel in prayer and contemplation.
All right. So next in line, the process repeats for a sellsword of ill temper who seems to be taking his time. Now, Samson was in line behind him. Samson, go ahead and give me a description of your appearance.
Well, all right. I am a good solid 3 feet tall, maybe 3'1", you don't really know. Average halfling height, wearing somewhat decent clothes, ones you would typically see as on a performer that's in a tavern. I have a rapier that is prominently displayed. It is a finer looking rapier, obviously expensive. It seems more so to show off status than it is as a form of protection. I also carry a dagger, hidden sort of behind my back, but still in my belt. I have some grayish black hair, not gray with age, just that's how it is, maybe from stress. But my demeanor is somewhat, it's still calm. There is an obvious layer of what the hell is going to happen next underneath that, but a very cool facade is in front.
All right, well, let's be real. As a bard, we both know waiting in line this long isn't quite your thing. So give me a performance roll.
All right, this is where me being a noob comes in. What do I do?
All right, so on your sheet, you'll see under skills performance, and you should have proficiency in this one. All you have to do is click on it. A 17. Nice. All right, so nonchalantly, you step out of line and start to go past. As you start walking through, a lot of the other sellswords look very confused, but at the same time, don't expect to start any trouble because literally everyone in this building is armed. The clerk, on the other hand, seems to downright not care. And as a matter of fact, a few of the other people try to cut out a line behind you, but don't quite make it by as you did and were stopped by the guards. So you did manage to join the room with an Armigil without much hassle or documentation.
That's gonna bite us in the butt.
Well, maybe not.
I do not like being separated from my paladin.
Well, for the moment, Samson and an Armigil are in the back room. Greta, everyone is really distracted by the commotion caused in Samson's wake, which is ripe for an opportunity to pickpocket if you would like.
Hell yeah. Is there
Go ahead
someone
and
who
roll
was...
me.
What? Was there someone who was mean? Or rude? I won't just
Probably
pickpocket for no
the
reason.
Well, is...
You know, that guy got real hoity-toity. I didn't like that.
Oh, the clerk?
Uh-huh.
Take your pick.
Yep, that sounds about right.
You're going to try to pickpocket the clerk, not anybody else in line. You're going to go out of your way and try to pickpocket him.
Well, he was mean. He was pretentious, and I don't like that.
All right. Go ahead and make a roll.
Is it sleight of hand or stealth or...
It's sleight of hand. Yeah.
Yes. There you go, guys.
Yikes.
A 1 is
Jesus
a critical failure.
I have +6 on that.
Okay,
Sorry.
so typically a 1 is an automatic failure no matter what you rolled. But
Yep.
since this is such a prime opportunity, I'll allow you to do that with advantage, which means you can roll again.
Haha!
Highest one.
Yes.
Ah,
Even better.
From a 1 to a 2.
yeah, she really wasn't kidding.
I was so not kidding about bad rolls.
Okay. So you do split out a line, and you do get behind the clerk and pickpocket him. So you snag for yourself 20 silver pieces and a key off the clerk, which you can
Awesome.
do with as you will. But Signy, you are standing behind Greta in line. You don't even have to make a roll for perception. You notice this entire thing go down. She wasn't very sneaky about it. So you are well aware of what she's about.
Okay.
At least it wasn't a guard. So the guards do finally quell the overeager adventurers back into line, which brings us to Greta's turn. So what does Greta look like? Go ahead and describe it real quick.
Oh, okay. Greta is a whopping 2'11" and 3/4 tall. She weighs about 30 pounds, and she is a small, fair-skinned gnome with auburn hair and a little bit of a mischievous look in her eye. She likes to have fun. She's wearing some beat-up old boots, a little dress, and a cute little apron, and it's got a lot of bags on her that probably look like they weigh as much as she does.
All right. So the clerk beckons to the next in line, which is you, and there's this awkward pause as you approach. You can barely see over the desk, and he has to stand up and squint down to get a look at you. So he goes, "And who might you be?"
Greta Gormand?
Yes, you are on the list. What is your specialization?
Well, I'm really good at hiding and taking stuff and breaking into things.
I kind of
Whoa.
chuckle a little bit as she says taking stuff.
2 out of 3.
So you're a rogue, peculiar. And what
What's
are
so
your
peculiar
current
about it?
hours? Well, it's just the legalities surrounding that profession, but I don't judge. What are your current armaments?
I have a short bow, and I have this dagger, and then I have another dagger, and then I have my sword.
And who is your patron deity?
What?
Your patron deity. The god you worship.
Oh no. What did Gil say?
Intriguing. Room 13A.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
So Greta, he just ushers you by to the guards into the same room as the other two. It's safe to say that he put you down as faithless.
Ooh.
Hey, Gil, what'd you say your dude was? What was his name? Landrew?
Lathander. That was his response. You were close enough in line, I'm sure you heard it. Okay, so Signy, you're the next in line. Tell us what you look like.
Sure. So I am a half orc with light brown skin and blonde hair. About 6'4", 210 pounds. Fairly armored up. Javelins on our back. Hand axes to each side. Giant hammer as well. Quite a bit of scars on her face. Looks pretty laid back.
So this time around is the polar opposite. You walk up to the reception desk and you are towering over this old wizard. So he takes one look at you and just goes, oh, wonderful. Specialization big enough. Armaments barbaric. Patron deity. Grumsh. Room 13A, please.
Rather presumptuous, but gets the job done. I move on.
So that's it. He fills in the documents without even really asking you any questions or paying much attention at all. Just waves you through. So Signy, Greta, Samson, and Anarmagil are all in the furthest room. Yes, he is. He's very much racist. Alright, so fifth in line is Psychor. Go ahead and describe yourself.
Psychor is he's pretty old. He's 300 years, so I'm getting up there, and it kind of shows. He's 3'6", 40 pounds. He stands with good stature, and he's just kind of looking on at the proceedings, and he's here mostly out of curiosity, but he would not have gone anywhere else, because he has a feeling that this is going to to lead to something. So he's just waiting patiently in line and just kind of amusing himself, and he's not he's not restless. He's standing here, so he's standing just with his one arm at his side, the other arm holding his spear. He uses his spear mostly as a walking stick.
Okay, so you approach the reception, and you notice something about this particular wizard's attire, especially because it was previously mentioned. So go ahead and give me a history check with advantage.
Absolutely. Advantage history. There it is.
A 19. So it is indeed the many-starred cloak that's familiar. It is the badge and name of the true political power in the city of Neverwinter. They're renowned for their arcane skill and the whimsical, colorful cloaks they wear. While they fully support the Alagandar rule, they're basically like Congress, for example. If any serious danger arises, they're consulted and they aid with the security of the city. As a matter of fact, the many-starred cloaks are responsible for the invention of the blast globes made for and used by the Grey Cloaks, which is Neverwinter's militia.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, he calls for your name.
Let's see. Psychor, at your service.
And your specialty?
Well, I've been called a mystic. Been called many things, but mystic is the nicest of them.
We will see about that. What are your current armaments?
1 spear, 1 light crossbow.
And your patron deity?
Sylvanus.
Very good. Room 13A.
Thank you kindly. And he,
Okay.
goes with his walking stick and just proceeds inside at a really calm pace. He completely expected to be accepted, and this is no surprise to him at all.
Okay, so we finally arrived at the last in line. Ulrich, go ahead and describe yourself.
I am a mountain dwarf with a black, lustrous beard that goes down to probably my belly button. Quite thick. I'm about 5 feet tall, which I think is very tall for a dwarf, and very wide. I am a cartographer, and I'm wearing dirty but serviceable chain shirt.
Okay, so Ulrich, you're wildly out of your element here, pun intended. For one, dwarves always dislike human masonry, and two, you're from the wild, so this is especially uncomfortable. I suspect
sorry.
you may have even drawn in on yourself, maybe some form of meditation to take your mind off the city. It's something you do to try to tune out of the hustle and bustle. It's a little overwhelming. So go ahead and give me a nature roll with advantage. A natural 20. Okay, so it's safe to say that you have the best inclination of what's really going on, and it's most likely what brought you to answer the call to Neverwinter. The eruption of Mount Hotanau can get very worse than it is currently. The black snow could only be the first sign of an expulsion of lava to come, which would ravage the land as well as snuff out thousands of lives in the surrounding villages, and even the whole of Neverwinter. So, the clerk finally addresses you. Hello, dwarf. Smelly one, too. Sure need to be a colorful band.
Mountain dwarf.
Mountain dwarf. Potato. Your name
Uric.
and your specialty.
I make maps.
Everyone still there?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Sorry about that. Puppy invaded. And your current armament.
I have axes. I've got about 6 axes, hand axes that can be seen on my body. So I just say axes.
Oh, I
Nice.
see. Your patron deity?
Moradin.
Moradin. Typical.
I might slip into Rorks every now and then if I'm not paying attention.
Room 13A. Move along.
I just kind of trump along.
All right, so in the span of the last 10 minutes or so, you've all been cataloged. Well, most of you have been cataloged and sent to room 13A. So as the 6th member, Ulrich, walks through the door, it is closed by the guardsmen in the hall and locked. So let me do a tiny recap of your immediate surroundings and I'll work my way in. Never Academy is this large stone complex right here, which is nestled within the inner walls of Neverwinter Castle, but separate from the primary complex. It is a utilitarian barracks built for security and efficiency, with indoor training facilities for the Grey Cloaks elites, the Lord's personal retainers. You are all inside the Academy's furthest room, a cold and empty circular stone chamber illuminated by candlelight wall sconces and a high chandelier. Let me go ahead and drag everybody to the next map. Alright. Along the walls are 4 full suits of scale armor. The party has been left alone and locked inside with nothing except a lockbox against the far back wall. Go ahead and discuss. Perhaps you might introduce yourselves.
Fine. Fine. I'll start. My name is Anarmagil Yibo. My friend Greta and I are from Waterdeep. We came over here for myself, finish my training, and, well, Greta can speak for herself.
I'm with him.
That's her speaking for herself. You. I apologize. You were the halfling. I did not catch your name. The bard.
Yeah, the name's Samson, but call me Sam. Everybody does.
Very well, Sam, everybody does. It was a pleasure to meet you.
And likewise. What was your name again, smartass?
Hey,
No.
you watch it, mister.
I apologize, Sam. My name is Anarmagil.
Yes, it is nice to meet you. Can you
Call him Gil.
Shorty?
I'm sorry, what?
The gnome, can you call her off?
I'm not an attack dog. Gil, I don't like him.
Give him a chance. It takes a while for people to get used to each other.
Is there a drain in there? Is that actually, like, there?
Yeah, that is indeed a drain.
And there's goop and stuff going into it? What is that?
It's very old and darkly stained. You could use your imagination or maybe roll probably a history or investigation check.
How tall is Signy?
About 6'4".
Okay, so we're both the same height. Cool.
Dude.
Anarmagil walks up to the half-orc woman, half-orc barbarian. I don't remember if he said what she was wearing or not, but he does kind of nod up and down, checks out your guns. He introduces himself. He reaches his hand out, says, "Hello, my name is Anarmagil. It looks like I'm not the tallest one in the group anymore."
Yes, it does seem to be oddly proportioned in this room. She shakes your hand. Signy.
Oh, good. My name is Anarmagil. So, you're a fighter? Warrior?
Kind of, yeah. All around. All around.
I can tell from the look in your eyes that you want a few scrapes. I won't ask you to test yourself. I'm sure we'll be tested soon enough as is.
Speaking of, Signy, why don't you go ahead and roll me survival?
Okay.
$15, okay. So, you probably have a better inclination than that 10 investigation from Greta. What's on the ground is indeed blood. It does look like a few disasters have been fought in here. The ground is littered with scrape marks, so it does look like a training room. That heavy piece of wood does look like there used to be chains there. You're not sure why. It's a little odd. But the room doesn't seem to be frequented very often, although it was well used at one point in time. But then again, the castle is very old.
Can we open the box?
All right. So I'm assuming you do approach the box.
I have a key.
You do. So
It
as the
might
party
work.
approaches the lockbox, the 4 suits of scale mail slowly become very animated and very armed as they draw their, albeit blunted, long swords. So everybody roll me initiative. And
So
don't forget the dragon.
Oh, Greta, it's a good time to point out to you.
Oh,
Sometimes when you touch the things, you get stabbed.
I
Don't
didn't
worry
touch
about
it.
it.
I just asked if we could open the box. Where's my initiative? Where's that?
I'm trying to figure out how to bring this up.
It's up where your health is. I think it's the middle one.
Sorry. If you click on your token, and then
I found it. I found it.
All right. This is still for Samson too, in case he didn't know. If you click on your, yep, you got it.
Yeah, you have to have your token clicked in order to get initiative.
Thank you.
All right, so dumb question on the DM side. Where the hell did the tracker go?
Top left, I think
that's-
like third from the bottom.
Yeah, it's still like third from the bottom.
Yeah.
Last time I checked, it's like underneath that ruler.
It's the dice one, I think.
They did
It's
change it a little bit, so it probably looks different by now.
It's not the
Right.
dice one.
Wait,
Oh,
are
there it
there
is.
literally
It's
only
not- it's
two
not
non-DMs in this game? Because that's hilarious.
I mean, I've MC'd games. I have not DM'd games.
It's the same thing. So I'm counting you.
I know, but you probably shouldn't.
Okay.
Alrighty. Now that I found that, and I do apologize. It has been a minute since I've run, and I did say that, so you gotta bear with me.
A minute.
So wise one. Yeah, just as soon as Greta was about to was blocking everything and the suits of armor started, an Armadillo was taking a knee near his side cord, and he was about to introduce himself. And he just goes instead like, I believe introduction can wait till later. My name's an Armadillo. Yours? Well, hopefully you're a man of action instead of words.
He's talking to you.
I was
Darren.
talking to you, by the way. Darren.
Oh, me! Oh shit! Sorry. No,
you are
so-
Psychor.
No, I just realized that my sheet does not have hit dice because I had to custom do everything. But anyway, yeah. So Sai doesn't answer at first because he's setting his psychic focus. So in this instance, he's focusing on celerity to gain the 10 feet, and he turns to an Armageddon and he says, my apologies. I didn't mean to be rude. It seemed like they would have us waiting for a bit longer than is polite.
Looks like we're not going to be waiting much longer.
Oh,
Looks
yeah.
like we're about to get company soon. You, over there, third tallest. What's your name?
I believe that would be Urik.
Eric doesn't even think that guy's talking to him. He's busy looking at the stonework and muttering about how this place is never going to stand for 300 years, and how can these fucking humans even think that this is even a decent idea.
It's
Under
very
his-
typical. Very
Also,
typical of
he's mumbling under his breath about half-orc broads and elves and stuff.
you.
Hey, Furface, or Dwarf Guy, Hunter, whatever. Hi.
I just kind of look over out and I don't wave or say hi. I just kind of give him a nod or something and keep looking.
You're the upwards nod guy. I get you.
Yeah.
When I offered you my pipe earlier, did you just like walk past and not even acknowledge it?
When you offered what?
I offered
And
you
then
my
probably
Yeah.
your pipe? Oh yeah, no, I wasn't. I was too busy cursing out the crappy human stonework.
Oh, cool.
All right, so as you're admiring this stonework, you see immediately in front of you this full suit of scale mail grip the hilt of its sword and draw on you. Before you have time to react, Psychor, you are the highest initiative. You go first. What do you do?
I will. I will attack.
Oh, good question.
Mhm.
Do we have flanking in this game? I don't know. Can't believe I forgot to ask that.
Do we have what? Oh,
Sure, I'll allow flanking, yes. If you get directly behind something, you get advantage.
Alright, so are they moving in any order, or are they all coming in on us at the same time?
They're acting very uniform. They all drew their swords at the exact same time.
Alright, that sounds good. Well, it doesn't sound good, but yeah. So, if this thing will click, yep, there it is. I throw that on the one on the opposite side of Yurik.
So the one on the west end.
Yeah.
Okay. And that is an intelligence roll, which it fails. So it takes 6 psychic damage. Go ahead and describe this attack to me.
It's the stare of, it's like a swordsman's stare. Sai looks to the left and with this disapproving look that says, behave, and the thing buckles because what Sai is doing is trying to figure out if it's being controlled. So he's sending out his mental energy to interfere with whatever is animating this thing. So it begins to move disjointedly, and its coordination goes down, that kind of thing.
You've never known a true construct to really blink in the eye of danger, but this one, for some reason, does hesitate. So whatever you did strike true, as it takes 6 psychic damage.
Nice.
And indeed does seem to buckle considerably.
Yeah.
Which brings us to Anarmigo. What do you do?
All right, so I am going to run up next to the one that Signy is near.
Okay.
All right, so you said we only get advantage if we get behind, but flanking like this is an advantage?
Sure. I'll allow it just like the other game.
All right. All right, so I'm using my greatsword. That means my AC is 16.
Okay. 19 to hit does indeed hit, and it clangs off this thing's armor very loudly in this. It's kind of it's a small chamber, but well insulated. Let's just put it. So it does reverberate quite a bit, and this thing buckles as you just overhand cleave this thing right into its side. It is still standing, however, but not very much left in it. So, Greta, what do you do?
I want to open the box.
You're very content to open the box. You want to open the box in combat time.
I mean, look, the closest guy is like 30 feet away from me. I do not want to fight the things. Let the bard and the fighty guys do it. I am here for the picking of the box.
Isn't this why you have a ranged weapon?
Okay, Gil, you okay?
I think that
I'm fine, but you should shoot him before you keep picking the box. It's rude to pick boxes while he's fighting.
Okay,
Can I just interject for a second? I don't see anything wrong with picking the box. I see the box as like equivalent to a lever. You know, if there's a lever in the room that could stop combat, then maybe you pull it instead of getting in the fight. If we think about it that way, it could work.
That would be a very interesting thing to bring up in character and
that was not in character or anything.
So basically, there will be times where what you're doing or what you want to do is perfectly cool.
Yes,
I mean,
you should probably
here is
repeat that
probably
in
even not going to
character.
kill us. Here it probably wouldn't even kill us if you did go and pick the box. And, you know, it's in character. So, go ahead. Use your thieves' tools.
I mean, I would try the key first. I mean, I have a key.
Okay. So you take the interact with an object action. It does take your turn to do. And you try the key on the lockbox. The lock clicks. It does indeed work and fit that box.
What's in it? What's in it?
Inside the box, you see 6 rings. In order to do anything more, though, you would probably need your next turn.
Okay.
Okay, so Signy, it's your turn. What do you do?
Okay, sure. So I think I just pull out my great maul, and I just go for this guy next to me.
All right, go for it.
You're doing this at advantage.
Cool.
A 24 for 9. Describe to me how you obliterate this suitcase.
Okay. I think I just swipe it from under its legs, and then I just concave in its chest.
All right, this suit of armor is indeed destroyed. You went a little bit overkill on that swing, and a heavy hammer against a suit of armor doesn't really bode well. It goes down in a clatter.
Okay, and I think I just move over to my next victim.
All right. Which takes us to Samson. What do you do?
First, I move towards the center of the room. And then I use to the suit of armor that has yet to be targeted by anyone. That's in the northwest corner.
Okay. And that is another wisdom check. Unfortunately, it does pass. This suit of armor, despite your mockery, just gives you a very blank look, which is typical. It's a helmet.
I would like to hear the mockery.
Yeah, I was gonna ask for a tidbit.
You look really rusty.
No wonder he's not impressed.
Hey, it is in fact really rusty.
Yeah.
The well-oiled and well-used animation is not impressed by your mockery. Somebody does service them, and they know they look beautiful, so no. Which takes us to its turn. So, and it can indeed walk right over to you. And that's exactly what it's going to do.
Is that an attack of opportunity?
Yeah,
For
do
this
I?
attack?
Not quite. I think it can tiptoe around the window.
Yeah.
It has plenty of movement.
No, that's okay. I'm not melee.
Somebody is obviously, as you can tell, because yes, it does walk meticulously around Psychor's zone of control.
Yeah.
Somebody is definitely piloting these. It's not just a dumb animation given very simple commands. It's probably safe to assume that somebody is watching.
I would be convinced of that, actually, yeah.
Just when that convinces you, it takes its swing. So 13 for 2. I don't believe that hits you.
Thank you.
Samson, what's your AC?
That's the blue box, right?
Yep. Blue box is AC. That should be 14.
Yes, it is 14.
Okay. So with a 13, it does miss, although just barely. So at the last second, you do manage to duck out of the way. These swords are dulled, but that still looks like it would probably hit if it clocked you on the head. And it did try. So that takes us to the next one. It's going to charge Ulrich and take its swing. A 7, though, you saw this coming a mile away. Can't really say much else. You deflected off your armor. I mean, it didn't have a lot of power behind it. Signy, yours does draw and take a swipe. With a 10, you stop it with the... pretty much the shaft of your hammer, right? So it goes for this very obvious overhead, and you just raise your hammer and stop it dead in its tracks.
Mm-hmm.
And that takes us to Ulrich.
With my 2 weapons, do I get 2 attacks, or do I have to choose that as part of my class?
You do. You get to take one regular attack and a second one with your bonus action, but it does not get modifier damage.
Okay. I'm just gonna crack him with my hand axes.
All right. So that 13 clangs against its armor. It is literally a suit of scale, and it doesn't seem phased by that one. The 24 for 4, because no modifier damage, does exactly take it out as it stumbles backwards away from you and collapses. So that one is down. Psycho,
Okay.
your turn.
I'm gonna move.
Oh, right, sorry.
Sorry. I'm gonna move over by side.
Okay. So Psycho, it's your turn.
Right, so, well, all this time, by the way, you guys have not seen me do anything, and I haven't moved. So, it's probably going to be looking a little weird. I'm going to use my Mind Thrust again on the one that is on Signy. Yeah, let's go with that one, on the west.
Okay. And that is an intelligence
20
check.
east, sorry.
Jesus, the range on that.
And it rolls a 4. So, just as before, you can clearly see that someone is behind this suit of armor, so to speak. It's not a full-fledged construct, and it does buckle.
So when you do that, you say you just kind of give it like your mom's eye when you're doing something you ain't got any business doing?
Yeah.
Okay. So the armor guild is just going to kind of...
Yeah, as far as you guys can tell, I'm just looking around the room, really.
All right. I did see your eyes kind of look at that thing like it
Yeah.
assaulted you. I'm like, that's weird. I didn't hear her say anything. Whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm going to run up on... Oh, wait. I'm not going to run up. I'm not Crimson. I'm going to walk up on it and bash.
A 23 for 13. Describe how you obliterated in one fell swoop.
So I'm kind of looking over at Sidecor. He just kind of stares at this thing. I'm shaking my head because I'm not really sure what just happened. So then I look at the thing again. I have dreams of this little cat person. And then I bring my sword down and I just slash it almost in half. And then I remember, like, oh crap, did I need that?
All right, and it does go down in that one single slash from untouched to grounded in an instant. Retta, what did you do?
I mean, okay, can I, like... Okay, what are these rings?
Are you going to examine the rings?
Well, is that going to cost my action? I suppose I should help them.
It would take another interact action.
Look, here's the thing, though. They look like they're fine.
In your defense, sure. It seems like they have it well in hand.
I mean, okay, so she looks around the room and, like, okay, 3 of them are down, Signy's over there, and they are by them, but... okay, how far is that person?
You can absolutely shoot him. You don't have to go over there.
That's not what I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out how, like, okay, if your range is 30 feet and that thing is 45 feet from you and you're a melee class, then you're not going to be able to help them, which means that someone who is ranged should help them.
Yeah.
I guess I'll shoot him with my bow.
All right, so begrudgingly, you do pull out your bow and knock an arrow. Give me an attack roll.
Is that it? Did I do it right?
Yep, an 11. If that had hit, you're sure it would have hurt. But unfortunately, it's kind of a wide margin that you miss, and it clangs off the wall harmlessly.
I don't do the fighting, you guys!
All right,
My armor
so
guild gives you a thumbs up.
Signy, what do you do?
Okay. Let's see. Just in case. Well, yeah. I'm just gonna let's go swinging. Nope, that was with advantage.
Let's see.
11 for 5, 6, 16.
Yep, that does hit. So 16 for 12. Describe how you cave this one in.
Oh, awesome. I think I just kind of football tackle it to the wall, and then just like knee it in the face, crushing the helmet, and then kind of walk away.
All right, so you give this thing a shoulder check as you just ram into it, and it just shatters to pieces against the stone wall. And you turn around like a badass. The party is left alone in the room, and clears the tracker.
Hey guys, there's some rings in here.
Well,
Sounds
let's
good.
take a look at them.
Not bad.
I would like to examine the rings without touching them.
All right. So just as you start to get a little greedy over the rings, and the final blow is dealt to the animation, if that was truly what they were, you hear a slow, heavy clapping coming from the center of the chamber where Samson stood prior. Psychor, give me an Arcana check.
Absolutely. I've been looking around for someone to come out, yeah.
Mm-hmm. You can give me this one with advantage, as a matter of fact, because you saw right through this.
Yeah.
A 21. You're very wise to what's going on here. An illusion was definitely at play, and you'd suspect this guy probably had everything to do with it. So, the man you see, he has a reputation that would precede him. He is Dagult, of the noble Never Ember family.
D-built?
Congratulations. You've passed all the tests laid before you. Well enough so, I'm confident you will succeed in the arduous trials to come. You don't have much time, and we are short on information, so I will be brief. My name is Dagult Never Ember. My family and I are cooperating with Sir Karkum's effort to save the city. This is what we know so far. Mount Hotenau stirs from its slumber and is choking the sky with ash. It has been the Undergrove's responsibility to protect us from such elements, but they have failed us. As the mountain wakes, we suffer under the sunless sky as the tales of old have forewarned. There was once a cult devoted to an ancient dragon hundreds of years ago who wrought havoc upon the land and resided in a grand fortress. The cult, long dead as it may now be, however, the cataclysm that wiped them out sunk this fortress deep beneath the earth, underneath Mount Hotenau. The residual enchantments placed upon this fortress kept most of it intact, however, disrupted the balance of the land. This is why the Undergrove was formed in the deepest recess of the ruins, utilizing all of their druidic power to calm the spirit of the mountain, as they would say. But in the last few decades, they've gone silent. Our renewed effort to engage in diplomacy has resulted in nothing other than a slaughter. Our messengers taken or killed. Whoever the new Archdruid of the Undergrove is, will be the ruin of us all. And that is why you've been summoned. Your task is to delve into the ancient ruins and find the Undergrove, and put a stop to their machinations before it's too late.
This we
Did we
gladly
lose Uruk?
Sorry,
Uruk, did
can you guys
catch
hear me?
that? Yep.
No, not at all. I didn't catch it. My phone just went out on me. I heard the guy talking, but I didn't hear what happened after.
We just got our job. We have to go to the Undergrowth and try to fight some Archdruid. They got rid of the sun.
What was that
And
sound?
the elimination of us all.
That
Into the
is someone
ruins, find the
choking on a
grove,
chicken bone.
find a thing.
Okay.
Some
Might
Archdruid,
have a
no
map for
sun,
that.
ruination.
Do you have any questions?
Oh, not really. What's our cut in all of this anyway?
Hold on. You said without sun. How long has it been since this land has felt Lathander's touch?
By now, we resorted to sending out this call 2 months ago. We tried to resolve this earlier, but at this point, it's months past. Everyone else before you has failed. Either we've stopped hearing from them, or we've been returned body parts.
Then perhaps this is a blessing of Lathander. Perhaps you need one who is a son of Lathander to return the blessings of him. My dwarf partner asked about, I apologize, compensation.
As compensation, you will receive the formal acknowledgement of my noble house. I suspect you may even be promoted to minor nobility. However, you need to prove yourselves. And if you do, you will be rewarded with coin from the king's coffers himself.
Oh, cool. I whisper over to Sam. Don't worry, Sam. I know what they usually say. He did not just say he's going to pay you with exposure.
The last thing I need is another title.
Who wants to be a human fucking lord anyway? That's my question. Can't there be Lord of the Woods or something? Stay in this stuffy fucking breakdowny castle.
They're just gonna look at me and call me half a human lord.
Greta would like to examine the rings. She's like, all right, that's interesting. What are these?
The rings appear to be signet rings at a glance, which is to say they bear the noble seal of an official. At this point, you would presume it's probably of the Never Ember family. So, he does continue to say, I would advise doing your own investigations into the matter. Do not know by what means the undergrowth wakes the mountain, but if the suspicion of the many-starred cloaks is true, the undergrowth is now sapping the counter-enchantments that were once a barrier between prosperity and disaster. Whatever their device is needs to be destroyed with all haste. Inside the lockbox, to which your rogue had the key and has already opened, are 6 signet rings bearing the mark of my family, the Never Embers. These will identify you as the adventurers deployed by me upon your return and for your reward. Dismissed. And with a flourish, the man disappears.
Greta curtsies as he leaves.
Psychor is just gonna wander over and just look at the rings. He'll pick whichever one fits and just slip it on.
Greta would take the largest one and put it on her ring of thieves' tools.
Okay. That does leave somebody with a tiny ring, just for reference.
She did
Having expected this and not wanting to be rude, an Armigo takes the ring that was supposed to be Greta's and puts it on his pinky.
Okay, I will definitely be writing down that an Armadillo has a pinky ring. Alright, so once again, the party is left to roam in this chamber.
Just in that room?
Yep.
Is the door still locked?
I mean, you have a key.
The key opened the box.
It opened the box.
I go and try the door.
The door's unlocked.
Get out of this motherfucking tomb.
So, do we just, I guess, go?
Yes, we go.
Yes, then you hear the plethora of information he gave us, Greta.
Well, okay.
Greta was a
Too
joke.
busy
He
looking
did
at
give
the
us a
fucking
plethora of
rings.
information. Okay, so I suppose we need to investigate. figure out exactly where this, what do you call it, a blight, undergrowth, untrimmed bushes, whatever it is. We see where this is happening. I guess we find a way down there and then we fix it.
Wouldn't imagine it'd be hard to find. My experience, blights are pretty obvious.
This is gonna be dirty.
Obvious is not the best expectation to place ahead of time in this case. I'd say those suits of armor were not as obvious as we would have liked, wouldn't you?
Well, there was like 7 things in total in that room.
Fair enough.
Think those suits of armor will fit anyone?
I think they're pretty busted up.
Greta could totally put one of those on her head and it would be gigantic. What do you think,
So,
Gil?
I think it messes up your hair, Greta.
Yeah, no, she'd take
You
it.
guys want to leave right now, or do you have anything to get before we go?
Yes, I suppose we should
leave right
check.
now.
Well, we should go and check the inns, check the general stores before we go. And honestly, I'm not really sure where we're supposed to start. You, Signy, you said you believe that we're just going to be able to find this undergrowth or these blights, perhaps the farmland.
Well, you did mention Mount Hooten now. Whatever. Just start heading that way.
Yes, we will be off for Mount Hootenanny.
Sounds about right.
So, what should we like talk to people? People, like
Yes.
people who are nearby.
Yes, Greta. We're going to go out in the town. We're going to meet some people, including the shopkeepers and the innkeepers. See exactly what people are feeling about this particular situation. We may even find some extra activities for compensation. And he looks over at shit.
These
He
are
looks over
on.
there.
He looks over at Yurik
Oh,
when he says compensation.
yeah. Well, we're not gonna do this shit for free, right? I mean,
Damn right.
as much as I love going out into the woods and all that kind of shit, risking my life for nothing is not the way a dwarf lives to a ripe old age.
Yes, I suppose not. Also, not to be
Not
able
many
to can
dwarves
afford
that-
rum.
Yeah. I don't know many dwarves that live to ripe old ages either.
Oh, there's plenty. I come from a whole fucking. Well, I came from a village. Old dwarfs, but anyway, you're right. They don't stick around for very long. Anyway, let's fucking. When you want to go to an inn? Let's get some beer.
All right.
Solid suggestion.
How much does it be? Hey, Gil, how much is this?
What? How much is the ring? Or how much money do you have in your hand?
She has 20 silver pieces. I have no scale of what that does. How much that is. She has 20 silver pieces. There's nothing to do.
Wait, you should have some gold, actually.
I look at your
background.
hand. Yeah, I look at your hand and say that's shit all.
Oh,
and
see?
15 gold. There you go. 15 gold and 20 silver pieces.
There you go. That makes more sense.
20 silver pieces will do you pretty well in this town, Greta. As you know, you don't want to show off all your money unless you're trying to entrap someone.
In the capital, I would point out, never enter. I am back, by the way.
Nice.
Welcome back.
Some! Sorry, I won't do it that many more times.
All right, so is everybody leaving?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, as you leave the academy, it strikes you that everybody is indoors. And by the way, it's not bright out. This is the map. Another piece
Everyone's
of
indoors within the castle area, or like
no. As you're leaving the academy, you're walking out through everywhere. Everybody is indoors in the town. Without the sun, all production is down, and many of the townsfolk are without jobs entirely. You would presume it must be a late hour by now. Earlier rioting has been staunched, and the Grey Cloaks patrolled has already been doubled. Regardless, your journey out of Neverwinter and to Oakhurst is a long one. The windy conditions of the black snow makes terrain difficult and footing slick. It is early in the winter season, and with no sun, temperatures hover just above freezing during the day and plunge well below at night. It does not take long before you are numb to the conditions, however, and plow ahead. So, Oakhurst. Lying just to the southeast of the Crags Mountain Range, it is the closest community. Most of its 900 citizens, including the outlying farms, are human, with a sizable minority of halflings, and a scattering of other common races. As the party begins to draw near the welcoming sight of village torches, you hear a rustle in the brush. Everybody's entering the map at this point. Go ahead and drag your tokens on. It is the southeastern corner. I think we are temporarily missing Ulrich. I'm assuming he's on his way home.
Yeah, I thought he switched over to his phone, but okay.
Looks like he's dropped for a second. Do we want to wait?
We can catch him up.
Catch him up? Okay. So, Sydney, give me a perception check.
Okay. I'm really good at these. Yeah, alright.
Okay. With a natural 1, you don't manage to see the ambush in time. As a matter of fact, you're completely unaware. You might not have even heard.
Oh my god.
What's going on? 4 woody shrubs desperately throw themselves against the party. And because you're surprised, they get a surprise round on you.
Okay. Let's see what they got.
I'll go ahead and reveal them now.
That's such a lovely night, too.
Right?
Yeah.
Towns within sight, too.
Yeah.
Nothing bad could possibly happen to it.
See, here I was thinking it was a terrible night to have a curse. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Guys, I told you the blight would be obvious.
Yes, not quite obvious enough to stop him from jumping us as soon as we got to the city, I'm afraid.
Alright. So these 4 woody shrubs all throw themselves against you. Their attacks just air with desperation. It's not so much coordinated as just instinct. So the first 2 are aimed at Signy, unfortunately.
Okay.
Daniel, you go to your journal and you hover the mouse over your name. Not the icon, the name, Signy, and you click and drag the name onto the map.
Yep. As a matter of fact, I'll go ahead and make Rome. See where you would have landed.
Also,
we are
down
also
below
missing
in the
Ulrich.
chat log, you can, right next to the bottoms, where it says send, there's your name there. You can switch it to your character name if you want to. That might, yeah, there we go.
So I feel like Greta would have gotten tired and been cold and probably have latched onto poor Gil during that walk.
All right. You don't actually occupy the same square, but
That's
I will
fine.
take that into mind. Ulrich, are you back? Can you hear us?
Yes, I can. I don't know for how much longer, but I'm here.
Okay. Did you miss the introduction to Oakhurst?
Yes.
Okay. I'll go ahead and zip through this real quick. I apologize to everybody else. But Oakhurst, lying just to the southeast of the Craigs, it is the closest community to the mountain range and where you were directed to go. Most of its 900 citizens, including the outlying farms, are human, a sizable minority of halfling, and just a scattering of other common races. As the party drew near to the welcoming sight of village torches, you heard a rustle in the brush, albeit too late. Signy rolled a natural 1, so everybody is caught in a surprise round as 4 woody shrubs desperately throw themselves against the party. And that's where we left off. Alright, so,
Okay.
based on where everybody landed, I don't think anything changed. So 2 attacks are incoming for Signy. Although I should bring up the tracker just...
I'm not on roll 20 anymore either.
Yep, I'll go ahead and roll for you. And if you're in chat, I'll go ahead and ask. Everybody can go ahead and roll initiative while I do this.
I'm probably just going to be chucking axes or hitting with axes anyway.
Yeah. That's a 10 and a 14 for Signy, which both miss. The 14 does scrape against your armor, and you do feel it. These things have claws made of thorns. It would cut you pretty badly if that did land. The one over by an Armagul slashes out, an 18 for 4. I do believe that would hit.
That would hit. Yeah, I would assume I'm still using my broadsword right now, so that would hit.
Yep. So these
Hold on,
things
guys.
are fairly short, but it does slash right through your armor, right in between the joint of your kneecap, right behind there in that weak spot. Very unfortunate, very painful. Psychor, the one over by you, does take a swipe, but it's just a 9. I'm not sure. Are you wearing armor of any sort?
Studded leather, so it's 14.
Studded leather? It's just enough to deflect the claws. They weren't very well on. I would assume that it would scratch it. Probably going to want to take polish to that.
Yeah.
All right. And they will go ahead and roll initiative. Can get them to very mild technical difficulties. Alrighty. An 8. So they go last anyways. Although I do need to do work, don't I? That's 16 for Brick. Not bad. So by descending. Okay, Samson, it's your turn. You just got jumped by 4 wild shrubberies. What do you do?
I move over to be a little closer to the one that's just south of Signy, and I use my rapier.
Alrighty. Since you are new, we did discuss flanking rules. If you moved right over here, you have advantage because you're on opposite sides of an enemy.
So as long as you stay within a little circle with him, without moving out of that 5-foot range, he does not get an attack of opportunity. So technically, you would have been able to hit him from where you were before. But if you move right here, you can click the advantage button there, and instead of rolling an 11, you can actually roll again and see if you get a higher number.
Okay, so and I'm assuming it's too late to do that now.
No.
Nope. Because this is the first session, I'll go ahead and be very kind. Go ahead and roll again.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, I'm on my laptop. This is taking a minute.
Don't worry about it. 22 for 9. Much better. Go ahead and describe to me how you take this one down.
I just stab it in the area that seems like the head. I'm not really... I don't know if I'm too familiar with the creature, but...
It's a bush. Right?
It's a bush. It's a bush. I'm just stabbing right in the middle of the bush where it looks like the controls are coming out of, or like where it's centered.
All right. So you aim as best you can for its probably the central stem of the plant. And it does stop moving, but it's very impaled on your rapier, unfortunately. All right, and Narmago, what do you do?
All right. Obviously, I'm going to go and slash at the dude who stabbed me.
Obviously. Roll for it. An 11 for 12. Unfortunately, this thing sees it coming and it checks it right off its arm. And it is a very stout and woody plant, whatever this thing is. And it just deflected it easily. So
I stare at it. Wait, I stare at it, and then I sheath my greatsword and pull out my hammer and shield, opening my AC up to 18.
Okay, sure. I know it takes at least a bonus action to don a shield. So,
Yeah,
hooray.
I'll use that then. That's fine.
As per Urik's instructions, he's going to make 2 attacks with his axes, and there's no reason not to get advantage. So he circles around the one that's attacking Psychor. He's going to make 2 attacks here.
Nice.
A 24 for 6. I really wish he was here because that downs one in one swoop.
Yes.
An axe is apparently the best weapon to attack a very small tree with, and he does fell it in one hit.
Yurik is the best weapon to attack a small tree with.
And as a matter of fact, he walks right over to the one attacking a Narmago. His bonus action to make another attack. Really does need a new slot for this. And it crits. Doesn't even matter that he doesn't get modifier damage, as he downs this one as well. Someone needs to inform him about how badass he is. But that is his turn. All right.
Greta totally cheers.
Psychor just dusts off his shoulder.
Oh, right. Good job. Way better than that loser. Forgot his name.
All right, so Signy, it was your turn.
Okay. I will take a step over here. And I will roll for my hit.
A 23 for 9. Not the best damage, but describe to me how you smash this thing.
I think I used my hammer to plant it back into the ground. Back where it came from.
So you take one overhand swipe with your giant hammer and do thoroughly replant this small shrubbery. It's very embedded in the ground. And that takes everyone out of combat time.
Guys, we're being ambushed.
The nightlife is certainly intriguing.
Is everyone in the town like this?
You
Well, I
shouldn't
don't think
judge
everyone in the town is a shrub.
God, I hate plants.
You shouldn't judge an entire town.
Greta
based upon
drops
its
down.
personality.
I totally drop down and kick one of them.
Sai just laughs.
It's an odd thing to hate plants. Did plants harm you before then?
I'm gonna lay hands on myself for 2 hit points.
You're using lay on hands?
Yeah, I'm gonna lay hands on myself to regain 2 hit points.
Alrighty.
And that'll leave me with 3 hands to lay on people.
I'm
I'm
good.
gonna go ahead and make a roll for Urik.
Wait, I'm doing what?
Something I would have had him do, and I'll catch him up on what this is later, and I'm sure he'll inform the party. So I'll call this out when he gets back.
Are there any animals around? Critters, rabbits, mice.
That's a very good question. You can make a survival check to track that kind of thing, but that's more Sydney's expertise. I would suggest asking in character.
Can you guys see any animals around? Rabbits.
I can take a quick look.
That is actually a good question, Greta. It's
What do you mean, actually, a good question?
well, it's interesting to find out if these creatures affect or hunt even the small critters that would normally be here.
Can I look too? I mean, she's got dark vision, right? It's nighttime, or is it daytime?
You'll get a very okay.
Yeah!
You actually do roll very well there.
Haha! Right when it doesn't matter.
All right, so Signy, you do see a few very basic trails, like something's been through here at the very least. You would assume deer have been bedding down. Greta, you actually do manage to see a small little life form. It's a rat.
I want to talk to it. Can I talk to it?
You can communicate very simple ideas with small beasts. Okay, what idea do you want to communicate to this rat?
I want to communicate with this rat and find out, maybe, if there's anything weird going on. Are people being what? Oh.
I mean, it's hungry.
Yeah, no, you just see this 3-foot gnome get down on the ground and like crawl up to this rat. It's just like, hey rat.
I'm just going to continue on to the town.
Greta, dear
What?
darling, I just want to inform you that high communication with rats like that requires much more training. Basically, you can just get whether or not it's cold, not much else.
Is she always like this?
What does that mean?
Greta, can you ask your little friend to reconsider his diet and maybe have his friends start seeking out these creatures?
Huh?
Just like I told Greta, that's a bit higher level, a bit higher class than the simple communication she's capable of.
I'm just gonna communicate the simple idea that what's the name of these things? Brushes. That brushes are delicious.
It gives you a very weird look for a rat, as if to say it doesn't find bark of the tree very tasty.
I'm walking away and I'm like, oh god.
Listen, where's the good food? Can you show me where the good food is?
Everybody's really getting intrigued talking to this rat. It starts to walk towards one of the nearby farms. It looks like they've been growing wheat.
All right. Well, let's just, the really good food. That's probably where the rich people are, right? No?
Well, with rich people, but there is at least food there. Maybe someone has some answers about this undergrowth.
Maybe we should look for an inn.
Already on it. That's where I'm going.
Just saying, rats aren't rude.
The Lord said something about the farmlands out here. Did he?
Are you asking in character or out of character?
In character, yeah.
Did he about farms? I don't know. He said a lot of words.
A lot of boring words.
Agreed. Yeah.
Well,
Definitely heard something about Grove. Some druids.
Well, aren't we an attentive bunch? Don't worry, I didn't quite hear a lot of it. I didn't quite hear all of it myself.
No, from what I understand, he said that the sun hasn't been here for some months. He mentioned the farmland. I imagine he also mentioned that things weren't doing well.
I have a question.
Shoot.
If there's wheat, but no sun for several months, I want to see the wheat. Sounds like it's magic wheat.
I think
Somebody's cheating.
I think while I don't
Okay.
expect it to be magic wheat, I think she's right, guys. I think we should check out those farmlands.
Is anybody going to examine the crops?
Oh, we were
Also,
I
we-
was going to ask the farmer.
Is that not what I just said? I want to look
Yeah.
at the wheat?
Yeah.
Okay, are you going to do it yourself? You can make a roll. It would be survival or nature, your choice.
While she's doing that, I'm going to knock on the farmer's door.
Yes.
Okay, so you have no idea what hour it is, but you started your day going to the academy. It took you some time to go through that process, go into line, and then you embarked on the several-hour journey to this village, and you're knocking on a farmer's door. Just to recap. So this guy answers the door in his pajamas and gives you a very irritated look.
Which farmhouse?
I'm assuming the nearest.
That one? I am totally in his wheat field.
Good evening, sir. We are seeking answers to return the sun and turn back this undergrowth that's been harming plants. However, it would seem that you're still able to grow wheat. How have things been?
Well, have you looked? It's rotting.
It's dark, sir. My friend is currently investigating it. So you're saying that all of your crop is rotting?
Well, look at it. And Greta, you take one look at this. It's black. You know wheat's not supposed to be black. You're not sure why. It looks like either a combination of the ash, maybe the water, and a lack of sun. It is rotting.
I mean, wouldn't that smell bad?
It does kind of smell bad now that you mentioned it, but nobody asked.
I mean, Gil, this stuff is gross. It smells awful.
How long have your crops been this way, sir?
It has a very sickly, sweet smell, like decay, like a forest only.
Like an almost that fermenting rot.
Yep, almost fermented kind of rot.
How long
Well,
has it been like this, and how close are your people to starvation?
it took a good couple of months to get to how bad it is now, but everybody's running out. We haven't had a good yield in some time. It's been getting less and less every year. The
So this
sun
crop
gone
was
is
not new.
it's just the final nail in the coffin for all us folk.
I understand.
Do you know anything about evil bushes?
I mean, I've heard some things, but no.
Like what?
Rustling. I know we've had a bit of a rat problem around here. I mean, we've been growing wheat, but I never saw nothing.
So you've never seen any creature that looks like... Hold on. Signy, could you grab one of those and bring it over here, please?
Sure. I guess I'll go grab just like the closest thing and pull it over.
Okay, so you probably at this point take a closer look at it yourself. Go ahead and roll me survival with advantage.
Okay. I'm sure it'll go much better than last time. Yay.
So you know what a bush looks like. This looks like a bush, especially now that it's not moving. It looks like you uprooted a bush. It has no eyes, it has no mouth, it is in all ways unremarkable.
I feel like halfway through pulling it up and walking it a few steps, I'm like, I'm gonna look like a fucking reach. No. And I just put the bush down. And then I walk back over.
Signy, aren't you going to bring over the plants you were finding?
I can help. I can just see Greta attempting to pull this bush over that's half her height.
After
Yeah.
all, the plant did attack me. And I point to my leg where I was wounded by the plant.
So this farmer's standing there in his pajamas, rubbing his face, and he's like, "You know what time it is? It's bloody cold out."
It's time for some action, sir.
How do you know what time it is? The sun's gone.
Well, I know because I'm tuckered as hell, you son of a bitch. If you're gonna be a wise ass, you can go back to the inn with the rest of them.
That's a really good idea, sir. And I walk towards the inn.
He slams the door.
That was rude.
It was, Greta.
It was rude
Let's
of
leave
us.
those bushes on his porch so he can examine them in the morning.
So,
Yep, eye for an eye.
as we are approaching the inn, can I? Ooh, I didn't do that twice. Can I see anything about people who would like let us stay there for free?
That's a very good question. You do see a sigil. And it's not necessarily a shelter, as it is more of a warning that somebody else is in the area currently.
Okay.
So
My
you
question
can
is-
expect to find somebody, and they might not be so happy to see you if they know what you're about.
All right, my question is there a church friendly to Lathander in the area?
Have you tried asking?
Oh, well, in that case, when we get to the inn, I'll ask.
All right. So is everybody going to the inn?
Yeah, let's go to the inn.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so the tavern is over here. Most of the buildings are marked except for the farmhouses, obviously. They're not going to mark their own houses. But you do see basic signs. There's an apothecary, a tavern. You walk by the town center as well, and the jail, which is neighboring it. Very fancy looking place. So you walk in, and the tavern's just marked with a sign. It looks like it's got a mug on it. Pretty universal, right? So you walk in. It's a very quaint looking place. A little rundown. You can tell that times aren't really the best. It's a little rutty. You meet Garen on your way in. A good, honest, common man who lets you know he's the owner and barkeep of the Old Boar Inn. I got the last of the food and drink for a few coppers, if you're needing it. And I got a few rooms you can rent. A couple silvers. What do you need?
The 2 silver per room, sir.
How many are you?
We are 6.
Whoa,
And
whoa,
you're
whoa! Hey, wait, hang on. I am approximately half of you, Gil, so I don't think I should count as a whole person.
It's booked
Yeah,
by the
I have
room,
to.
little lady.
And feel free to negotiate with them, Greta, but
How many rooms are you needing?
well, we are 6, so I suppose we need 4 rooms. Most of the males can team up, and I believe Lady Greta can have her own room.
5 rooms. I'm not bunking with anyone.
I'm back.
What's
Hello. You were badass.
Was
Yeah.
I? Good.
Were. Apparently, axes are great for killing bushes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, they hit a crit.
Greta cheered for you.
You scared
Killed
me,
2
actually.
feral bushes in 1 hit.
Wow.
Yeah, it didn't even get to me in the initiative. It was great.
So are we at a hotel or something now?
You're
Yeah, we just-
currently in the
We
town.
literally just stepped to the inn.
Yeah, we were busy harassing a farmer. Talking to a rat.
Oh. Okay,
Talking
well,
to a rat.
I'm still on my phone. I have a couple things I have to do, but I'll be right in there.
All right.
You can
mean,
keep talking, I guess, as long as I'm not too loud.
I want to
No,
board
you're fine.
Okay, so we need 3 rooms? Is that what we decided?
Who's
I'm
bunking
gonna
with
get
who?
I'll get my own room, thank you.
Samson and Ulrich are taking their own room.
How much is a room, by the way?
2
2
silvers.
silver.
Yeah, I'll take a room.
Can I get a discount as an entertainer?
Well, that depends. Are you gonna play?
Sure. What do you need me to play?
Well, you tell me, wise ass. You're the entertainer. I ain't paying for nothing.
Hey, look,
Fucking
you know,
entertain me.
it looks like this town has seen some real hard times. I don't think you get very many people. I'm willing to bet that you could probably really use the coin. So, I mean, look, there are 6 of us. Why don't you give us a discount?
Here, I have an idea. What do you got? How many people are in here right now? Sorry, go ahead.
Can I persuade?
You can try to give me a persuasion roll.
Hey, Samson, I play cello. Would you like me to jam with you?
A cello and a pan flute. That sounds
Okay.
fun.
So, with an 11 and a tone that sounds like you're trying to hustle him, he pulls a heavy crossbow out from an under the counter and sets it on the counter, giving you a look.
I raise my hand and I put 5 silver on the table.
What? Now you're paying for 2.5 rooms.
Oh, but you said a couple silver. I
It's
apologize.
2 silvers to a room.
I'm gonna slide
Well,
one
I'll pay.
silver alongside it and
Okay,
say
I'll
I'll
pay
take
for my
I'll take the
room,
third.
and
I'll
I'll
take
pay
the
for
third
her
one.
room. There we go.
How about how many people are in this inn right now? Like in the common room. And what
Yeah.
time is it?
Looks like a good majority of the town is in this inn.
Oh, okay.
As you walked in, it was the single only tavern in the town.
So I guess playing for rooms is probably not going to happen. Because I was thinking if we could work out something like if he makes any more money through the night, he could give us a discount or whatever. But fuck it.
It's a pretty big inn. Don't
Yeah, and if-
get the image a little bit distorted. There's 900 residents in this town, and there's at least 300 bustling around in here.
Okay.
You could easily entertain a crowd.
But Ben, only like 6 of me can fit into this building.
Are you gonna make me dig up a map? I will.
No, I
So, bitch.
All right.
The
so,
one map I don't have.
So is Sam rolling an advantage for performance, or are we both rolling for performance? Because I do have performance.
I would. It depends. If there's several people performing, one of them could flunk. So who's performing?
I have a 3 on my But yes, my performance is 5.
You can absolutely roll performance to play your own instrument. Whether or not it's worthy of getting a free board is up to the roll.
Oh, look at that.
Oh hell no!
So you take out your instrument. What is it? Just out
It's
of
a
curiosity.
cello.
It's a cello? He takes one look at it and says, "Hell no." That is his response exactly. Samson, do you... I know as the entertainer background, you do get something. Can you broadcast that for me? Did we lose Samson? We did.
While Gil is doing that, can I slip 2.5 silver into his? Can I slip some silver into his bag?
Okay. So far, I think Sai and an Armagul, and he paid for your room. So there's 3 rooms paid for.
Yeah.
Right. He paid. I want to put my money for my room in his bag.
Go ahead and roll sleight of hand with advantage. He's got his hands full with the cello.
I'm so glad you gave me advantage.
Yep, you got a 20. He doesn't even notice.
I guess I'll go up to him I lay down 2 silver. This is for my room. And here's another 2 silver. This is for my tab. And I just asked for any alcohol at all.
He slides you over an ale off the tap.
Awesome. And I go sit down.
All right.
How close are we to, like, the wilderness from here?
You're on the border. This is very much the frontier. It's
But I mean,
probably
like-
just a good leg away.
Okay, so if I was to choose to sleep outside, would that take me too far away from everybody, or would it be fine?
You would be fine.
Okay.
You're close enough to the mountains. This is a lot more in your comfort zone than Neverwinter.
Right, so
Yeah.
I'm just going to say, you know what, guys? I'm just going to I'll stay out in the woods tonight. I've been around people for way too long. So I think if anybody wants to come and hang out with me, that's cool, but I can't stay in here.
You're going to miss out on beer.
You know,
Well,
if he had said that, I wouldn't have taken a room.
Well, you could probably take it back. I don't know. But
By the heavy crossbow on the counter, you don't think there's any refunds.
No. Okay, so the coin. Can I get like some ale to go, like some beer to go? That I paid.
I'm going to get some alcohol to go too.
Do you have a water skin?
Yeah.
I
You
don't.
can absolutely fill up a water skin full.
Yeah.
Did you still get the 6-pack?
I'm a hermit as well, so like being outside is fine with me. I would have been fine to just camp out in the woods. So
Greta looks at you like you're fucking crazy.
you're a forest gnome.
Yeah.
You pay for a room, you ask for ale to go in a water skin, and then you start to leave.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll take some spirits in a flask or whatever you got to go.
Yeah.
It's
Does he have like
it's-
sandwiches and things? Like what?
We
What
ran
can I
out of
get?
spirits a good month ago.
Ran out of spirits.
With all the
We got
meat
ten.
rotting in the.
You've got tap? What the fuck? I thought this was an inn. You ran out of... Jesus. Well, give me
Please.
whatever you got.
Please forgive
There
my
ain't no
French. It's
sun.
been a long road.
There ain't no
He's
sun.
I mean,
Sun
out
doesn't
of,
mean shit. I live underground, for Christ's sakes.
Ah, listen,
That's
More
a
than
fucking
six.
great
there's
point.
no.
I mean, also out of character. Just saying, if all they have is fields full of rotting wheat, surely they are making booze with it. It's about the only thing they can do.
You don't want to make beers with rotten wheat.
That would
tastes bad.
Yeah, that would be poisonous.
That's where spirits come from. Also, I bet at the last second I decided to go from brewer to cartographer.
Okay.
So,
Something
I guess
tells
I
me
don't-
if you were a brewer, you'd have your own stash.
yeah, that's true. And I would explain to this gentleman exactly what he's doing wrong. But I don't. So, just give me an ale and I'll come back. And I can hunt and stuff for us, Darren, so it's not going to be a big deal.
Yeah, cool. So I'll like say to the others, well, you know, we're gonna go camp outside and get some fresh
Guys,
air.
you guys want to come? Anybody's welcome. You got a tent?
I mean, have fun.
So
Thank you.
the innkeeper actually gives you like a really outlandish look. And he goes, "You mean to tell me you're not going to sleep in my establishment? You're going to chance the outdoors?"
Well, you know, I thought about it really seriously, and the giant crossbow really is a deterrent. I don't know how many people you've brought in pointing a giant crossbow at them, but
I've
you
brought in
did.
everybody pointing a giant crossbow at him because the farmers don't even run their livestock afield these days. They're all dying. And you mean to
Okay.
tell me you're sleeping outside? Good luck.
There's no accounting for taste.
hey, I sleep outside all the time, thank you.
Oh,
What do
you
you
can
want me-
sleep outside
This
with
cotton?
whatever the hell else is outside.
Well, on
That's
the dirt?
fine with me.
Do you have a bedroll, or do you sleep on the dirt?
Whatever. Doesn't matter. Pile of fucking pine needles. Doesn't matter. I don't know if I have a bedroll or not, to be honest with you.
There's one in the
You should
Explorer
have one.
slot.
You should have a better roll when you're
Yeah.
on Explorer's kit.
Yeah, I think I do.
Well, if
Yeah,
that's what
no.
you said.
It's gonna be beautiful, you guys. Have you ever slept outside under the stars, or are you all just inhaling fucking smoke and other people's stench?
I'm going to go to my room. Thank you.
Anyway, I said anybody who doesn't want to smell everybody else can come with me.
But you're gonna smell all the other animals.
I'm gonna what?
You're
What did you
going
say?
to smell the other animals.
Oh. Well, I mean, not necessarily, unless they surround me or try to crawl into my bedroll with me.
Okay.
But you're right.
Just to be sure, do you two have any way to signal us in case you guys start getting eaten by rabid squirrels?
Squirrels, my ass. I'll stop. Then I just stop.
I think
Before I say I will
we're.
stomp a squirrel to death.
I think if we do see anything unusual out there tonight, I think that's probably going to help us decide where we want to go next. Which is why I'm kind of curious about, what's out there.
In my
what do I have-
experience, screaming is also a good signal for, needing help. So
That is a good point. And look, what's the worst that can happen? They're going to throw a couple fucking bushes at us. I think we don't need to worry about bushes. And I cracked my fingers.
Very well. If you get into trouble, just make a sound like a rabbit being skinned.
Yeah,
We
sure.
will consider that, yes.
If we need you guys, we'll call you. Not like that. That's not even what a fucking rabbit skid sounds like. It's a lot
Rabbits?
less quiet. It's a lot quieter.
Yeah, rabbits don't make noise, do they?
Not when
I
I
did
skin
make noise
them.
when they get killed.
I don't skin them alive.
Oh.
If you
Yes,
missed a
rabbits scream when
shot,
they die.
I can confirm they do scream. And they do sound like that.
Oh, do they? I know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I skin them, I'd probably try to do it with them dead already.
Ideally, I'm sure.
That was funny because I'm sitting here, when you tell me that they don't sound like that, I'm like, yeah, they do.
No, I thought they sounded like a kid. Like a child screaming. But I might have been
It's even
thinking about
worse.
something else. Oh yeah, it's definitely worse.
Or a guy who skins rabbits.
So anyway, I gather up my alcohol and wait for Sai and
Yeah,
Let me get out the door.
I have my stuff with me, and I'm gathering my alcohol, and I'm ready to follow him out.
All right, Sam. Very much.
I wave to the bartender, by the way. I'm not antagonistic to the bartender.
Okay, Sam. He doesn't want to hear my cello, so it looks like the performance floor is all yours.
All right, then I perform with my pan flute.
All right. So this is definitely your profession. You are well accustomed to doing this. As a matter of fact, you've traveled a lot of places as a bard. This is your go-to. So as long as you perform for your stay, it's free. You got a free tab. Your lodging is waived. The whole 9 yards.
Okay, so will I make any tips perform?
I mean, 300 people.
Yes. No, go ahead and make a roll. Greta would also notice this. So Greta, go ahead and make me a sleight of hand check. With a 25, yeah, you readily notice these townfolk are definitely a lower class and times truly are as dire as it's made out to sound. Their purses are all rather empty, even by a commoner's standard. Nonetheless, a barmaid does bump into you and the opportunity presents itself to lighten her tips as well. Do you take it?
Did she say excuse me when she bumped into me?
It looks like she's way in over her head and probably didn't look down.
Then absolutely.
All right, you get 30 copper pieces. I hope you're happy. And as for your tips, let's see. They managed to scrounge up 58 copper pieces for Samson's tip.
Heck yeah.
It's a lot of coppers, but it's not silver. You're not in a noble district.
It's still something.
All right,
How much
so
was
what's
the
it?
alcohol?
How much was the what? Oh,
The
alcohol.
alcohol?
Probably just a silver for a few drinks. It's kind of
Yeah.
a come and get a refill kind of deal.
Right. And how many silver are in a gold?
I think
Is it
we're
10?
playing with 100 to 1 here.
Okay.
Oh wait, I can check this pretty easily.
Copper value is 0.001. A silver is 0.1.
100 copper to a gold, yeah. So 10 silver to a gold.
A gold is
10
1.
silver. Okay.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah,
Okay.
10 silver to a gold, 100 copper to
Sorry.
a silver.
Yep. Sweet.
So once Darren and I get out into the woods, I pull out my dwarven drum. I have a drum. I just didn't want to jam with those guys. So I just hit, and I'm not really skilled at it, and I don't have any ability in it. But a musical instrument was one of the things that I got. So I'm just out there, fucking. What do hippies hit? Bongos? I'm just bongoing it up.
So where is the party at this point? Who's inside? Who's outside? What's everyone doing?
I guess it's the two forest rangers went outside to go sleep under pine cones. The rest of us shook our heads, and we're gonna go up to our rooms after we get some food and our drink.
So
What does he have to
Uruk and
eat?
Psychor stood out, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And everyone else is at the inn. Okay. And this is how you guys intend to spend the night, correct?
Yeah, we're drinking out under the stars, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, I came in here, a guy pointed a crossbow at me, and then this chick ran into me, didn't even say excuse me. I'm going to bed.
All right. And Greta's immediately going up.
She's like, these commoners are just brigands, and I don't want to put up with it.
All right. And Signy?
Drinking most of the night. Probably want to get not a whole lot of sleep, to be honest.
And Narbago?
I'm gonna have a little bit of wine and whatever he has to eat.
All right. And Samson's planned for the night, correct?
Yeah, I use my tips to pay for food.
Okay. So, after the long trek, most of you find yourselves drinking and one of you sleeping. Downstairs, the locals huddle rather packed together, with hissing rumor from every table. The general murmur seems to be that the village is damned. Trade has died with the metropolis, and everybody's stuck out on the Hell's frontier with no food. So, seated together, most of the adventurers found themselves at a vacant table. With the drink, you yourselves feel your minds begin to wander. Why are you here? What drove you to the academy? And what hope have you any more than the others before? But for now, you're warm again, and in your own company. The question, however, does go to the entire party. I'm sure everybody's feeling that at this point.
Well, hey, I was told that I was going to be making money.
So Samson's contented, but what about everyone else?
I'm here because Gil is here.
At some point in the night, like after we finish singing, and we would have like some basic kind of a watch. So at whatever point,
Yeah, absolutely.
at whatever point where Sai is on watch and he's looking up at the stars and he's just like contemplating how this mission fits into this thing that he knows of that he's not been hinting at to anyone. So he's kind of taken this mission with a purpose because he's on a on a mission to kind of figure things out and learn about the nature of existence and the nature of the wider world. So he's hoping to see something here that will enlighten him further.
So, Ulrich, as you're outside, go ahead and give me another nature check while we're over at you guys. Okay, so with a natural 20, you notice...
That's an advantage. It's 12.
A 12? Okay.
Yeah.
So not so in-depth, but you do notice, at least at a glance, there's no sounds of very much around you. It seems like all the birds are gone, at the very least. You don't hear any owls or anything.
What about animals? Do I hear?
There's the occasional rustle, but you can't pinpoint exactly where. There is movement around you.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, is the forest populated, I guess?
You do hear things moving. You're not quite sure whether or not you can make it out, and it is still quite windy, so there's the sway and hustle and bustle, just the wind in general.
All right. So yeah, I share the pipe with Sai, and I kind of mention that to her and mention that to him and say, yeah, it's kind of weird out here. I don't hear any birds. At first, I thought they were just listening to the drums, but it appears that there's no chirping or cheering, so that doesn't really happen often. I'm usually quite good at entertain all the animals of the forest, but I don't know if there's very many around. I assume it's got something to do with this. Was it a mountain we have to go to?
You are right, my friend. This is way too quiet of a night for what I'm accustomed to.
The wilds here seem to be alive. You do know that much, but not quite a familiar kind. The creatures you saw before are based off a roll. I did make it off screen, and I'll go ahead and read this to you now.
Okay.
You did see such creatures before, as those the shrubs came alive. It's not unfamiliar to you. Topiary guardians of druid crows are actually found in abundance, but those ones were different. These ones were untended, grown bushy and scraggly, and are usually quite peaceful and benign beings, only attacking in extreme circumstances to shed blood. Those ones seem desperate, as if the very land was crying out in its defense.
The fields have been dying for a while now.
Must be some kind of blight or something. I don't know if those things don't usually just turn fucking weird like that. So we have to find out, I guess, what's causing it. I'm sure it has something to do with why we're here, right?
Oh yeah, for certain someone knows what is causing this. This certainly does not feel like a natural phenomenon to me. The balance is off somewhere here.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Lavender's going to do it this time. Well, I guess we better stay extra vigilant just to make sure none of those things come at us again. Is there any way that I can, like, try to figure out... My favorite enemy is giants. Probably not. It doesn't sound like giant work, but I'll give it a shot.
Okay. So, you do know that the northern frontier, such as these, is frequented by tribes of giants, as a matter of fact. You've heard of that before. around this specific area, I mean, there's no tracks. Giants aren't very stealthy, but it doesn't look like they've been around this town.
Right. Okay.
And to know more, you'd probably have to go up into the Craig's mountain range.
Right.
We're not there yet.
Well, I can't really tell much from here, but I don't think there's any giants around here. I don't see any tracks or anything. No giant, huge piles of feces. So I might have to do a little more investigating tomorrow to see what's going on. This is kind of my thing a little bit. So why don't we get some rest and I don't know, try it in the morning? We have. You want to take first watch, or do you want me to?
I'll take first watch. Get some rest. I'll be ready to help out tomorrow.
Excellent. Okay. Well, good night, my friend. And I give him a cheers with the alcohol and say, to a long life and us not dying tomorrow. And to new friends.
To new friends. Thank you very much for saving me today. You were really amazing when those brushes came at us.
Oh yeah, those are nothing. You know, I know how to deal with those. Just need some axes. Everybody needs axes. But yeah, don't worry. I'll have my trusty. It's just like a regular old shitty tomahawk or a handmade axe or something like that.
Have you named all of them?
No. I'm gonna chuck some of them, so I don't want to grow too attached.
And I'm telling you guys, Lathander will definitely be enough.
I'm going to intentionally call him Lavender from now on.
Lathander will definitely be enough.
So panning back in on the party that's still in the tavern.
Hey guys, it's 10, so I gotta peace out, and I've got a baby crying for me.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
All right. We are running a little bit over time.
I mean, Greta's sleeping. She doesn't know what's going on, so...
All right. So does everyone else want to push it maybe 10 more minutes?
Y'all are welcome to. I gotta go, though, so...
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks.
Good plan.
Yeah.
See ya.
All right, catch you next time.
Good playing.
10 minutes would be all right, but I mean, I probably couldn't go any past that.
Yeah, I'm just thinking just until everyone's situated that they're going to sleep in the inn.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
Okay.
So back in the tavern, the locals are regarding you warily and keeping their distance. It might have even been considered respectful were it not for their feverish glances. So what are you guys up to?
So, tomorrow morning, we start asking questions. We start seeing if anyone has any idea where to start. And we see if there's any ever extra chance for compensation. Obviously, farmland's down. Everything else is as well. There won't be much light, but we have to get started. I'll go and see whether or not there's a church friendly to my lord.
Sounds like a plan.
At any rate, we may as well stock up on supplies. We don't know how long we'll be traveling. And I'm not certain which of you can see in the dark, so we'll be sure to make sure we have plenty of torches.
I'll look for winter clothing as well. Probably be helpful.
It looks like I'm going to be carrying Greta up to her room.
Have a good one.
All right.
All right. Good night, everyone. We'll see you in the morning.
In the morning.
All right. So that's the plan. Everybody's got their notes, got a general idea of what's going on. I think that's where we'll call it.
Nice.
Cool.
All right. Cool.
All right. Good game, guys.
Yeah, this was good.
Thanks for running it, Ben.
Yep. I'm looking
And,
forward to it.
Yeah, me too.
I'll see you guys next week.
Right. Later.
Good
Later,
session
guys.
one. All right. See you guys later.
Have a good night.